Well, just over 4 weeks ago, Baylor suffered a devastating home loss to Stephen F. Austin at the buzzer. Now, since then, they've won 7 of its last 9 games and now sit a half game behind Kansas in Kansas State for the top spot in the Big 12. Now, listen, most of these wins have come without Tristan Clark, who's out for the season. Tonight, could they carry that momentum to Oklahoma, a place where wins have been hard to come by throughout their history? Now, since Clark went down, Bears are shooting 7% better from behind the arc. That's Key McClure dialing long distance. And Jared Butler to Mark Vital, likes jam on his toast. Later, Matthew Meyer over Devontae Bandu. The lead would swell to 8. The Makai Mason fadeaway right here, a la Hakeem Olajuwon. Game high 9 points. Yes, just 9 points. Then Meyer filling it from downtown. Baylor shot 64% from the field, 54% from three-point range. They cruised 77-47, and get this, all 11 players that played made at least one field goal. How about that? Speaking of Makai Mason, he received some good news today. He was named the Big 12 Co-Newcomer of the Week. Mason averaged 21 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds in a pair of wins over West Virginia and Alabama. He had a season-high 29 points in 38 minutes against the Mountaineers. The grad transfer then followed that up with 13 points and 4 assists versus the Crimson Tide. There's a new sheriff in town as the Lady Bears have vaulted to #1 in the nation for the first time since March of 2013. Lady Bears received 24 of the 28 first-place votes, with UConn and Louisville receiving 2 apiece. Notre Dame's 5-point loss at North Carolina yesterday helped Baylor leapfrog the Fighting Irish. Texas stayed at number 12. Texas A&M, they moved up 4 spots to number 20. Speaking of the Longhorns, they were at home taking on West Virginia. Late first quarter, Horns down 9. Danny Williams splits the defenders, finds Jatari White down low, goes off glass. Second quarter, Texas now down 13. Joyner Holmes, pull-up jumper, got it. Later, Suk Sutton. Horns trailed by 9 at the break. They would go on to lose 64-58. Lady Bears now have a 1-game lead in the Big 12. Now look, baseball's a funny sport. You know, no matter how good you are, anybody can win on any given day. Of course, number 3 MCC got off to a rough start by dropping a season-opening doubleheader at Angelina on Sunday. Now, could today be a different story? Let's head out to Bosque River Ballpark. Both teams finished their 4-game series with an afternoon doubleheader. Game 1 saw the Highlanders get started early, bottom of the second. Thomas Santos, one hopper off the wall. In left center field, Cole Moore comes around to score from first base. Santos ends up at third with an RBI triple. Same inning, bases loaded, Brett Squires sends one sky high to shallow center like a Jeff Bagwell pop-up. It's going to drop right in the middle of 3 Roadrunners. That scores Santos. It's now 2-0. Same score, 4th inning. Ryan Bishop at the plate. He's going to collect the RBI, ground out 3-0. At that point, MCC, they go on to sweep the doubleheader 9-2 in 7-5. Expectations extremely high for Steve Rodriguez and his Baylor Bears. Now, after winning the Big 12 tournament for the first time in school history, the team is ranked in the top 15 in 2 separate preseason polls. All 9 starters are back. All 3 starting pitchers are back. Cody Bradford, Shea Langeliers, and Davis Wenzel were named preseason All-Americans. Langeliers is one of the top players in the entire nation and has all the tools to become a first-round draft pick in June's Major League Draft. Now, despite so many veterans on this team, Coach Rod says the competition is still higher than ever.
I think there's competition for everybody, which is great, even for our returning guys. Regardless if you have played a lot in the past, I think everybody's still fighting for a spot and to create their own niche. You know, I think we're carrying over some great confidence from last year, but that's last year. You know, so we need to do the same thing this year, and we need to have that same fire that we kind of created toward that last half of the season at the beginning of this year.
We'll be right back after the break.